Ladies and gentlemen, today we are having a look at my thoughts on Empire at War, Star Wars Empire at War, a game developed by Petroglyph. These guys over here. Oh, I didn't even know that lit up. Cool beans. So, where to start with this game? Star Wars? Check. I definitely wanted to play a Star Wars game. RTS Star Wars game? Double check. Heck yes. This was right up my alleyway. I needed a Star Wars fix after all the other nonsense that I've been playing. I was like, I'm missing Star Wars. I really want to play something new. This is the game I'm going to play. And I was not really disappointed with it. I'm going to break this review down into two different sections. Number one, this review, we're going to talk about Empire at War. Next time, I'm going to release my thoughts on Forces of Corruption, the DLC for this game. Forces of Corruption, I think, was way better, and you get both of them in the Star Wars Empire at War Gold Pack, or Gold, whatever it is. It's all packaged in one deal. Just remember, if you want to play the other one, that you need to load it from the launcher. You need to load it from Steam itself, and then don't right-click the Steam icon in the bottom right of the screen and then quick launch, because that gets you right back to this Star Wars Empire at War. And you're like, where's my save file? What's going on here? I don't get it. Where's the consortium? I don't get it. So that's what ends up happening. So there's a tutorial here. And as you can see, I have done them all. This tutorial does an excellent job of explaining the game mechanics, and I would recommend going through these. But seeing as this is being done live, I really don't feel like going through tutorial with somebody else to show it. Oh, I'm skipping stuff. Before we get into the actual meat of the review, let's just cover the basics. Star Wars Empire at War was released February 16th, 2006. That's the release date on Steam anyway. I didn't do any actual background research to be like, oh, when is this going to be done? So yep, I'm slacking. My bad. And the developer is Petroglyph. So I've spent a total of 25 hours in the game. I think it's safe to say that maybe 3, 4, 5 of those hours were spent playing the DLC. The DLC is considerably shorter, or rather, this was back in the day of expansions. The other set is much shorter, but has a lot of really good content in it, which definitely makes it all the more worth the purchase. So let's jump into a game, shall we? I have plenty of save states, so we can look at other stuff instead of starting a new campaign. You start a new campaign, and in this mode, you get to choose either to play as the Rebellion or play as the Empire. And it's basically playing through Star Wars 4, or Star Wars Original if you try to live in a blissful state where you ignore that the prequels have ever happened. So, you have difficulties here as well, which again, difficulties are always frustrating to me because I'm just like, how do I feel like it? Do I feel like playing through the game easy and seeing what the story has to offer and what I can do? Do I play medium, which is normally where I am because I'm trapped in medium limbo and I can't do that? Or do I want to play hard and not actually play through the game at all because it's too difficult for me? And yeah, I don't like difficulties. It's frustrating. Then you choose a faction, you just go along your way, and the main characteristic difference between them, the Rebel Alliance spies on the Empire develops its own technology. That's kind of the short end of it. They have their own different vessels and vehicles, their own different heroes that show up, and their own strategies and approaches. But we're not going to do that. You also have Galactic Conquest, which you can switch between, which will then give you different settings and different planets that you're up against. This map here in the top right, as I'm scrolling through the different maps, is showing how many different worlds are available and what rough area it is. So the biggest one is Empire at War, has 35 planets. You start at tech level 1 and both players start at 600 credits. You choose your side, choose your difficulty. You can just jump in there. So you got official maps and custom maps. So there is workshop maps that are approved. I haven't done anything with the workshops to see what extra content was made for this game. I'm sure there's fantastic stuff. I just haven't taken any time to do it. You do have advanced settings, so that's always nice to give you more options with that. Skirmish battles are probably where we want to start off with, so we can cover the basics of land, space, and then land control. I don't think I've done land control. I did land and space a few times just to experience it. But this experience is very different than the rest of the game. there's actually a surprise for both the Alliance and the, I almost said Horde, for both the Alliance and the Empire. For the Rebels and the Empire, there is a secret character, at least one that I found on both sides that I was super excited about. So we're going to end on this because I'm really enthusiastic and really want to show this part off the most. So we're going to save the best for last. Let's jump into a campaign a little bit ways through. So, okay. All right, the first game's progressed way too long, actually. So we want to jump in. We'll jump into a new campaign. Let's just jump into Play Rebellion. Because I progressed really far into it, and I cheesed it, sort of, and I'll explain how I cheesed it. And if you want to earmuff your ears when I explain that, I'll warn you ahead of time before we get into that. Star Wars, yada yada yada. Not going to worry about this. So, destroy 6 Imperial fleet yards. Hit and fade, classic maneuver. Alright, weaken enemy. So this is space combat.
Target confirmed.
You can choose, let's start with this. You can click on your units individually by left clicking on them, or you can left click and drag to select a group of them. You can select and drag to get the whole thing. I don't think there are any keyboard shortcuts to... there might be keyboard shortcuts to select everyone. Ooh, I didn't do anything with that. Alright. Go. There are moves that each ship or hero knows. In this particular instance, what we have is this weaken enemy attack that... who is... this is Antilles, right? It says Sundered Heart. Captain Ramus Antilles, a veteran of the Clone Wars who served under Senator Bail and Leia Organa. His ship is a heavily modified Corellian Corvette. So yeah, Corellian Corvette, like the rest of these ones, only he's got more perks. This will boost engines so they can go faster, but we don't actually want to waste any time with that. We want to hit and fade. So the mission objectives are down here in the bottom right corner of the screen. Destroy the 6 Imperial shipyards. The Sundered Heart must survive. So those are the conditions to survive. If you need more, you can click this right under this R2 unit. You can click the mission holocron, which will then hide or unhide it. So let's bring this guy right over here. We have to destroy this. This doesn't look right. Yep, there it is. There's the tiny little arrow telling us to do it. So let's just boost them up. Let's get rid of them. There are a lot of buttons to look at here, and don't get overwhelmed by them. The basic controls, you can get by on an easy difficulty with the basic controls. The more complicated maneuvers, the more complicated mechanics, I figure you could get into them if you really wanted to, but I think you probably are just better off without them. So, here we have attack, we have move, stop, guard, set waypoint, attack, move. I didn't use these buttons at all in pretty much any of this. I'm uncomfortable here. I'm not paying attention to what's going on, so this could be bad for me. It's taken way too long. I'm thinking we're probably going to end up skipping into it. Here's a cool mode, though. I can press spacebar and we can go into cinematic mode. Now it feels like we're watching a movie. Except for not there. That was space. Yay, movie. Oh, man, they're going through them. Cool beans. Ah, explosions. It was definitely my favorite feature there. And then the other simple controls. Using a mouse, because of course I'm using a mouse. You can scroll wheel out to get to a smaller and smaller view. This is definitely useful for being able to select everyone here. Here's my method. I'd scroll it all the way, drag all the way across, right click on whatever I wanted them to attack. So stuff that you probably already pieced together, but I'm going to voice it just in case you haven't noticed. This is where the health is shown. Red means that the health is really low. Green, full green bar means that its health is in full. Yellow means that it's getting in lower health. The blue is shields. The shields regenerate. The health does not regenerate. And that's pretty much how it works in every Star Wars game with ships, if you ever play a simulator or something like that. Alright, we're going to go here now, continue on with the attack. We got 3 more to go. And I'm now worried that we're going to lose that. Something that I thought was cool, though. You see... Oh, these are just ties. A lot of these ships that you see in here are familiar ships that you would see in the TIE Fighter, X-Wing Alliance, or other series that has the ships in there. This is still the same LucasArts that made a lot of the very classic games that are still so very familiar. Oh, maybe that's how we destroy them faster. Let's just shoot like that. So if we do this... Oh, beautiful. That's what I get for not paying attention, huh? Gotta actually listen to the commands on what's going on. Let's speed them up a bit. Alright, we're gonna fire here again. And that should destroy the next one. We can't risk losing the Sundered Heart. If we lose the Sundered Heart, we lose everything. We go here now. We're gonna take out this last one. And then we'll have a nice little cinematic thing that's going on. And then we'll get into the tactical mode, and we can talk more about that one. And we'll come back to the space view for a bit, but this is about all that I'm going to show at this point. So, this is really nostalgic for me because I just have a vivid memory of being a pilot with the Rebellion in X-Wing Alliance. And every time that the Empire Star Destroyer showed up, it was just like, oh no! Run away! And like the intensity was always so ramped up. So the intensity of the Star Destroyer showing up in this game are still super strong. You see a Star Destroyer and you're just like, ah crap, we gotta run. We gotta get out of here. And it stays like that for a while until the tide finally turns in your favor. You get battle time, you get to see the enemy's losses and you see your losses. So even if a vehicle or ship is damaged, as soon as you're out of that screen, the damage does not stick around any longer. The ship will go back into the fight fully equipped for the next battle. This is the strategic view. And this is pretty much what we're going to cover for everything else. Of course, there's Mon Mothma, who's blah, 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 talking. There is R2 and C-3PO. Each unit has a different use here. Hold that thought. We have, this is supposed to be like the really early phases of the rebellion, and they're trying to track down the Death Star plans. So this is one variation of how they found the Death Star plans. You'll see no Rogue One characters in this particular story, though, which, meh, no real opinion in that one way or another. Some of the cool features that the different characters have, Mon Mothma has a... Can we see it? Can I see this? Can I see this? I want to see her perk. There it is. So, leader of the rebellion. Inspires strong moral combat boost. Reduces 25 at her current location. So, if you were to try to build a space station here, level 2 space station, is this level 2 or level 1? Yeah, level 2 space station. You can compare the prices of making Z95s and space stations here. If you want to make it less expensive, you do this. You do this to get more credits, and then you move her over here. And you go here, and you're like, aha, the prices have dropped. We'll do this. So currently what I'm doing is building. I'm going to put that over there. Also, what I like to do, which this is probably suboptimal and it wouldn't work well against multiplayer, but I like to do is have my ground task force separated from my space task force. So this is my space fleet and this is my ground fleet, and then I've got my 2 heroes here. And Antilles, you will be by yourself for now. And this is how I keep track of how everyone's doing. So as far as upgrades are concerned, oh, here you go. You click here to see what the latest thing you gotta do. Task, take R2-D2 to the ground assault forces and steal codes network terminal. So you gotta make a ground force, combine R2-D2, and just slip them right in there. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna talk about how to build up your resources and troops first. So this is an untapped planet. Well, for the most part, it has a barracks. Let's get rid of that. Start afresh. So this planet has absolutely nothing on it. First off, what you want to do is you want to build a space station. Oh, it does have a space station. Can we delete that one? I'd be surprised if we can get rid of that. Yeah, no, you can't get rid of space stations. Space stations are important because, like it says, garrison X-Wing, Y-Wing. It has a garrison in it, and it fortifies your planet. And if enemy fleet lands on top of your planet, it will delay them somewhat. And they'll have to fight through that, and then you'll be able to get through, maybe survive a little bit longer. At this point of the game, you only have 2 vehicles to choose from. You will rapidly get much more very soon. You have the mining facility, which will then increase the, well, it says add substantial amount to the planet's base income. Which, where do we look for that again? Okay, so that's one thing that we can do. We can display or hide the credit value over here with these buttons. I never really used these planet station level and ground level maps at all. I didn't use that at all. I didn't really use that at all either. I didn't use that much either. I really didn't use much of the features in this game, to be honest, even though the user interface is actually pretty well put together. Then again, we get that awesome cinematic view, which, who doesn't want to look at a cinematic star map? The beauty of outer space. I've got nothing else to say about that. You can scroll into other planets. As you can see, we don't know what the ground forces look like. It doesn't look like they have a fleet, though, but I don't remember if we can trust that. Let's build ourselves some of these and watch that go up. So currently, when we build this, we're currently sitting at 128 credits per day. Universal Day, Galactic Day. Every time that... Oh, there's another spot to look right over here. Every time that the day counter goes up, you get paid for the total sum of all of these planets under your control. So that's how you get that. And then Tech 1, telling us where our technology is. So the tech increased. Now we have even more money that comes out of Alderaan. But you'll notice that we can't build ground troops. That is because we need a barracks to build ground troops. But we can build better stuff because now we have a level 2 space station. So now we can be like, I think that we should... I'm going to move this guy over here. I think we should build all of these because these are the best ones that we can have right now. And then as you can see, it will show you how big your fleet is based on how big the stack gets. So we're going to send this guy over here. All right. So that's 3 ships, 4 ships, 5 ships, 6 ships. There, 6 ships is the 2 stack. You just keep on stacking them until you can't stack them anymore. We'll go to 3. We'll go to 3 stacks and then start acting. And now that we have this, we can also build ground troops. Good stuff. Let's hide that. I don't want to see this anymore. Let's bring this in and see if there's anything above the planet. They might scold me for doing this. Yep, nope, no troops above the planet. However, let's see about Kuat. Kuat drive yards. What you guys got? Now we find out, are there any enemy troops up here? No enemy troops. So we could capture everything.
Construction complete.
I do have a trick to trying to get as much as possible. The strategy that I would recommend you do is you don't progress the game any farther until you capture all the planets in this sector. Once you've captured all of these planets that you can capture, then continue on with the main quest and then work your way through. That's how you can make sure that you get through relatively easily on a higher difficulty or low difficulty if you're lazy like me and you just wanted to get through really easily. All right, Korriban, can we get anything here? Is there a space battle? There we go. So this is against pirates. And you could begin the fight and then get into the fight, but I don't feel like it. The fighting takes a long time and I don't have time, so I auto-resolve. And we won the battle for Korriban. We lost 3 Corellian corvettes and 1 Z-95 squadron, but Z-95s are total crap and nobody loves them. And then you got pirate, pirate fighter, pirate interceptor, frigate. So now you'll notice that we may have controls of the space above Korriban, but we do not have Korriban itself. And we will not have Korriban until we build a ground force to go in. So let's build some tanks here. Let's move Mon Mothma over here. Let's build some troops here. Let's take Mon Mothma over here. And let's build some of these guys. Oh, we have reached the population cap. I forgot that's a thing. This number here, 54/54, that's unit capacity. And we're limited by how many that we have per planet. So there's nothing else that can be done. I personally like to keep my fleet in orbit before I invade, because some units can bombard from orbit. And I do believe that it is the Y-Wing squadron that can bomb. So if we don't have the Y-Wing squadron, we're not supporting our troops here that are invading. So you want to make sure that you have the option to bomb the enemy troops in the area. And you'll notice that I'm trying to build up a big army here so that I can just send them in and call it good. And that's my strategy to win calculated fights. I just don't feel it. Now you will notice something interesting happened just now. When I went here, there's this star. You can send troops in on a raid. This is not going to be successful because I'm not going to lead it, but you could send them in for a raid. Let's have a look at what the ground fight looks like, so you can at least see a failed attempt. Tactical information. Imperial heroes receive tactical modifiers due to their dark side force energy here. So that gives you a bit of an idea what to expect. So anyone on the dark side would do really well on this planet. It's Korriban after all. What else is there to say? This is where you would normally call in reinforcements. If we had more people here, you would be able to click this button here to call in reinforcements and put more people down here. I've never used place beacon. We do have call for a bombing run though, because we have outer space, so we can drop them on there. You can do this stealing tactic. Whoops, let's spread out. You can do this stealing tactic when there is a fleet above orbit. So even if the fleet controls a planet, you can sneak troops in to cause an uprising and take the planet from underneath your opponent's noses. So it's always within your best interest if you're playing other people to keep at least some troops garrisoned at a certain planet to make sure that you don't lose that planet. Something that I really like about this, it's too far away, we can't see it really well. I like the aesthetics of each planet, because some of it's really familiar. Like this, if you've ever been to Korriban and like KOTOR or something like that, you're just like, yeah, this is Korriban. So it's very accurate to how it should feel. Now we're currently in a sticky situation because it's not in our advantage to slowly progress in this mode, which is frustrating to me because the way that the game sells it to you is like, send out scouts. You want to make sure you investigate your surroundings before you commit your entire army. I just didn't run into a situation where that made any sense. And again, it's a little different when it's in RTS. RTS games have a curve to them that I am not Korean enough to be good at. I'm sure people that do StarCraft and are really familiar would probably do really well with this game, but I almost feel like this game doesn't have the same tight-knit controls that a game like StarCraft has. But again, I didn't take much time to sit down and look up the keyboard controls or key bindings because it's not really complemented in the mouse over tooltip, so it's not very intuitive in explaining how it works. Now we have a bombing run. We're going to want to call that in, but we're not going to want to call that in until we go to a place that we want to bomb. I'm also waiting to find a spot that we can control. Alright, let's talk about something else. If I hover over a unit, you can see this tooltip that shows up, and it shows, come back here. Fine, we'll hover over our own guys. Infantry platoon. They're strong against stormtroopers, but they are weak against speeder bikes, anti-infantry turrets, and these ground TIE fighter speedy McGee things. So that kind of gives you an idea of what these troops are good against and what they're bad against. You'll notice that they're all kind of like walking around with their knees bent, English types. So they're doing that because I've issued the command take cover, which if you hover over this, again, pretty intuitive. Take evasive maneuvers and reduce damage under enemy fire. While using evasive maneuvers, infantry moves slowly, but they take less damage from that. So you have to kind of make the judge for yourself. You're like, okay, Alright, after this fight, we'll get them all to stand up, and they'll run forward. Then we'll make them squat down and hide again. And that's kind of the route that you want to take. Alright, so now we can make them all stand up and move. Ah, nope, we got a speeder. We got to squat them down again. And they're going to unload on that one. So as you can see, it's strong against infantry, so that's not good. This is particularly bad for us because it's going to be able to take down our infantry units. But by taking cover, we survive a little bit longer. Keep on moving up. That's not good. But the rocket men are very good against vehicles, so we should be able to survive against them. Oh, here we go. Nope. Back down we go. Notice that he takes squats as well. Pirate soldier. Black sun pirate mercenary. Ruthless and deadly. 3 squads of 3 soldiers. But they're all dead. I wasn't done reading that. Per company. Can't read that. Skip boat. Skiff. Skiff boat. Light patrol vehicle. Primarily used for dominating local population. 3 vehicles per company. So that kind of gives you a bit of a nice little bit of flavor text that you can read going through that. There's nothing else really to say about those. Combat armor level 1. Class defensive upgrade. Reduces the damage taken by rebellion trooper units. Honestly, I don't know where that came from. I have no idea where this buff comes from. Normally it comes from units or troops that you have along with you. Ugh, this is bad. This is bad. Let's drop it on them. So now we call in the Y-Wing bombers. Here they are. I'm going to drop them right on top. Perfect. Now sometimes you might be better off controlling the control points, but in this particular case with an invasion small task force, we need to try to come on. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. This is it. This is it for troop platoon Atratzu. Alright, let's go cinematic mode. Oh no. Ah. Beautiful. So we did a bunch of damage, wasn't really good. We're not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to just click and drag these guys over here. Click and drag them down here. Thus, the invasion begins. Begin. So now we're going to talk about reinforcements. I wish I could just skip this nonsense, but we can't. Alright, so now we have control here. You can only summon reinforcements at a control point that you control, and this one is controlled. Control point 4? I don't know. Oh, it means that you can have 4 reinforcements. So let's drop these tanks here. Let's drop this infantry here and drop this infantry here. And now you get to see the Saints go marching in. The troops all come down. We group up. We run over all the enemy troops. Let's go like this. Awesome view. This is definitely one of the fun things about it. It makes you feel like you're in the movie, even though everyone has a serious case of pixel face. Alright. And there was that random speeder that showed up. Alright. Are we about done? We got him. Now we go forward. So, as you can see, you can grab your army pretty much as big as you want. There is a limit to how many troops you can have down at one time, though. That is that number, 4 out of 4. If you ever get tired of that, you can just click this button to hide. If you decide that you have had enough and you can't win, you can retreat from battle and try to scrap and save as many units as you can. Clearly, this would have been a better fight to just auto-fight and win it. That would have been a better use of your time, but we're going to go this way because I'm going to commit to this bit. And there we go. So now this is when it kind of gets a little bit hectic for me, because I wish there were keys I could just press to select them into different groups, like in medieval Total War, where you would be able to select a group and then hold down 1, and that'd be group 1. You could press 1 to always bring them back there, but that is not an option. The closest thing that we have is that if I click on a unit here and then send them like that, and then I click these and then click on this unit, that click being left clicking on it. If I select these, I left click here, I left click again, I can select the individual unit. If I select all of them, here, here, see what happens if I right click. I don't do that often. Yeah, you don't really, right click really doesn't do anything for you. Now we have the opportunity to do something else. Let's go here. Oh, let's get rid of this guy first. I don't like them being walking around all bent knees like needing to go to the bathroom.
We've secured.
Alright, now we have control of this pad here. And once you control a pad, let's control that one as well, you can select upgrades. So anti-vehicle turret, I think you can figure out what that does.
Secured.
You have an anti-infantry turret, I think you can figure out what that did. That's what wiped me out last time. Then you have an anti-aircraft turret. This one I didn't use much. This is to prevent bombing runs from happening. I don't think that we need to worry about that though. Rebel back to healing station. That is something that we actually need, but we're going to do that over here.
Constructing.
Then you'll see that there is a cooldown period that it takes to build it. You'll also notice that it costed credits to make it. It's been negligible. I haven't needed to worry about that whatsoever. You also have the Rebel repair station, which will repair your vehicles. We have some vehicle damage, I think. Yes, this vehicle is damaged, so we'll want to do that. You also have a sensor node, which will let you see farther in the fog of war. Let's build that instead, though. There is an area healing effect. When you click on this building, it shows how far it can reach. So I had to move some troops closer in. You will notice that we're not getting new troops added to platoons. Once you lose them, you have lost them. But if they all take guard here and defend here, it doesn't really matter what's going to happen. They're going to win because they're being healed at the same amount that they're being damaged. You can win. Okay, here are the battle capture information. Capture plan to gain immediate income, so you get 900 credits for capturing it. Mission objectives: the local humans are allied with our enemies. Destroying them and their structures will go a long way for helping our cause. So it's basically saying destroy buildings because no one here is your friend. Sometimes you'll end up on planets where they will help you, like Mon Calamari. They're all friends there for clear reasons. They were enslaved by the Empire. Why wouldn't they help us? And then you got destroy all the pirate land forces and structures to win. So we can only win once we destroy all the pirates. So let's speed this up, shall we? Let's zoom out a ways. Okay, let's send some of the troops that way. Let's send a few of them this way. Let's take these guys and go this way. Up. 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 Finish that guy. I'm going to show you my angry tactic called... Come on. Come on. Oh, I guess this one can't run over people. Some vehicles can run over people, and those are the ones that you will want to have. That TIE Fighter one, that TIE Fighter like rolling land unit, is it here? Yeah, this one. Strong against. First one on the top right out of R2-D2's projector. That's the one that you can run over enemies, but it doesn't do it automatically. You have to direct them to do that. So there you go. Funny little trick that you can do. Maybe not funny, maybe horrifying, but you know what? I don't really care. It got it done faster. My whole goal is to do the minimal amount of effort that I need to be able to get it. So, if this was a fight against the Empire, they could drop reinforcements in here, but it's not a fight against the Empire, so they're actually not really going to do much of anything. But we still want to capture these points, so let's go here, and then let's go this way. Ah, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alright, looks like we're losing this one. Let's drop this here. Oh no! Too bad we called in a bombing run and they're gonna get bombed anyway. Ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk. We win! Those are the last ones. That was all we had to fight. We are victorious. That means now that we have control of the planet. What do you mean we don't have any losses? Totally had losses there. Have the control of the planet. We go like this. We send them back. We send them back. We bring in Mon Mothma. Once Mon Mothma shows up, we build a space station so we can at least defend the space a little bit above Corbin. And then we just do that until we want it. You'll notice that some planets have more space open for that than others. And yeah, you're well on your way for learning how to and playing Star Wars Empire at War. Now, you get the idea. There are some cool missions. Let's see here. Straight out of Star Wars 4. Let's load this. What was this one again? Oh, right. This mission.
Yes.
Oh, right. This scene. This is Leia Organa. I want to say Leia Organa Solo's
detected a burst transmission to the
Star Destroyer capture scene, only we got way more. So now we're like, oh, send them in. Capture her quickly. So we're in a nebula, so our sensors are down and our shields are down, and we're just like, surprise, we're here to get you. You have to bring out your Star Destroyers, and you need to set up a gravity well so they don't get away. Here we go. Jamming. All right. And then you react and you try to capture her in time by disabling the ship and then taking her aboard. You have control of Vader as the Empire. It's all very cool. Vader's a far more cool character, though, on the ground. And it's like just, bam, space chaos. So fun. Good times. But we're not going to do the whole mission. This is actually a very slow-going mission. But, and here it is. Here's the tractor beam. So you get her and you're just like, we're tractor beam. You're gonna get her. It's gonna take so long, though. So, okay, we're gonna load. Let's load something else. Extra slot, Empire mission. This is a fun one. Let's load this one. Okay. Any second now. Oh no! It crashed. Let's load it up again. Hopefully that didn't ruin the recording. It's a long recording and we don't want it to be ruined. Alright. Is it still there? Hopefully it's still there. Let's load the Emperor mission. Is it corrupted? What's it blinking for? That's not supposed to happen. Maybe I'm not supposed to have control of Bothaway. Okay, to this one. What's going on here? Begin. Planetary invasion immediate. I might have broken this save file. This was kind of fun, though, because the Emperor's down here, and the Emperor's like, hello there, Bothans. I'm going to teach you who's boss. These cutscenes are pretty good, actually, all things considered.
To Bothaway, Your Majesty. To what do we owe this great honor?
Your disloyalty
to the Empire. This is all you get. This is all you get for this fight. The 2 guards and the Emperor. It is an awesome mission. These missions are so good. It doesn't even matter whether you're good or bad at RTS. This is just really fun to play. So the Emperor's moves, Force Corrupt. Wait, Force Corruption? Yeah, Force Corrupt and Force Lightning. So as you can see on the minimap here, you got to go to all these different areas. His Excellency, Emperor Palpatine must survive. So we're going to destroy this. Yes. No. No. Yes. All of them down. Not a one batch of dust. All right, come here. Come here, you. I'll show you what for. Oop. Should have held off. That's an AoE. Didn't want to do that. Trying to protect my guards. No, guards, no. The Emperor is really strong, though. I don't think he can rightly lose in this game, in this mission. All of them are dead. I always lose the guards, though. I'm like, no, men in red. I'm trying to save you. They will never be saved. They cannot be saved. Yeah, this is going to take way too long. Trust me, though, there are many fun missions like this where you take control of one of the very iconic Star Wars characters and run through it. Speaking of iconic Star Wars characters, let's jump into this. Skirmish battle. Let's set up something stupid on land. Marooned on Geonosis. Easy AI, easy AI, easy AI. We're gonna set this up as chaos. Yeah. Rebellion. Right, we're gonna be Rebellion, they're gonna be Empire. And it's all easy AI. Let's do this nonsense. This should be chaos. Absolutely chaos. By the way, the Geonosians, when you liberate them, they're just like, hey buddy. I'm just like, don't think I haven't forgotten the Trade Federation. You are not forgiven. So now we have a bunch of people in this area. These are our troops. This is somebody else's troops. Goody. Let's build defenses here. I don't know where to send our guys. I don't know where to go. I guess we could go over here. Let's go over here. Let's capture that. So the fun stuff about this. What was this?
Construction complete. Tech upgrade.
We'll do this
in
technology
progress.
upgrade. Oh, let's do this as well.
Turret constructing.
Oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing any of these. I wanna show you a specific character, and I don't want to mess it up. Okay, nope, those are vehicles.
Enemy forces ahead.
I don't remember which one of these we're trying to
We've
do.
secured a landing zone.
I don't think that's it. I don't think that's it. So the upgrades here are actually shared across the team, so that's pretty cool. Alright.
Ready.
Skirmish mode is very cool. I think that you might be able to actually set this up to play against other people, but since GameSpy was shut down, there needs to be an alternative, so you'll need to jump into your files,
We've
follow
secured
along
a
some
landing zone.
tutorials and guides online to figure out what you're supposed to do. Alright, we captured that control point. Let's capture these and get more credits. Whoop. Whoop, 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 whoop. I want to grab some of
Tech
these.
upgrade complete.
Yeah, split them in half.
Got
You
it.
go over here and capture this
Moving
one.
out.
Okay, can we
We've
get anybody
lost
else?
a landing
Here
zone.
he is.
Requesting
That's my
assistance.
buddy. You all should, if you don't know who this is, you gotta go watch my Dark Forces reviews. Got 2 of them now. We're gonna be talking more about this particular guy. But in just a bit. Just a
ready
bit.
for a
Just wait
little
for it. If you
payback.
don't know, if you missed it, you'll see him in just a bit. That's right, we have to summon him versus
We've
reinforcements.
secured
So,
a build path.
he shows up in reinforcements, you build a troop, and you're like,
Choose your
okay,
reinforcements.
bringing him down.
Order acknowledged.
Here he is.
We've lost a build
Wonder who
path.
drops him off. Uh-oh.
Reinforcement
Uh-oh.
point contested.
I think that's the right. That might be the right
Kyle Katarn.
freighter.
Welcome, sir. We'll back you up where we can.
No. Show us Kyle.
We've lost a
Where's
landing
Kyle?
zone.
Ready for action.
That's our buddy. That's our boy. Kyle
Order
Katarn. So, for those of you that don't know, Kyle Katarn is the
We've secured a
Let's
landing
get
zone.
in Star Wars Dark Forces 1. He is the person that tracked down the Death Star plans.
Position.
And in Star Wars Dark Forces 2, he becomes Jedi.
Secured a
Right away.
landing zone.
Pretty awesome.
Order
And
acknowledged.
since this takes place,
On my way.
chronologically, this takes place
On the
during the
move.
Star Wars
Heading out.
Episode 4,
Moving out. Right
um,
away. Moving.
just, I don't know, a
Order
few years
acknowledged.
after or
On my
before the
way.
Battle of Yavin. It makes sense that he does not have
Heading
a
to position.
a
On the
lightsaber. He's
move.
got a gun. So he's still not force sensitive, he just has his stuff. He's got some cool abilities.
This
He's
should
got
be
sprint so he
fun.
can move faster.
Heading out.
There is one more character though, but we have to wait until we
Moving
get
out.
to see
Target sighted.
who the other character is, which again, another very exciting character
Right away.
from Star Wars lore.
Building under construction.
And
Beginning construction.
hopefully
Ready
we
to
will
roll.
see her soon.
Heading out. Yes,
Last
sir.
time I saw her really soon.
Roger that. Right away.
If not, we will need to reset
Moving ahead.
and do it
We've
again.
secured a build path.
Why are the Geonosians against us?
Contested.
Why, sir?
Yes.
We've
Kyle?
lost a build path.
Don't you dare. She
Construction
is.
complete.
Where is she?
We've lost
Where
a landing
is
zone.
she? Is she over here? Nope. Is she over here?
We've secured a build path.
We gotta find her. We will find her!
Landing zone.
Where is she? Where is she? She's gotta be around here somewhere.
We've
So if
lost
you
a
don't know
build
from
path.
the, oh man, everything's shown now. Where is she? We are looking for that specific hero in the top left corner. If you don't know who that portrait is, I'll let you know as soon as we find her.
We've secured a
Where
landing
is
zone.
she? Where is she? I don't know where she is. Uh-oh. She's losing health, so it's a combat area. Somewheres. Here? There she is. Do you know who this is? Yes. Just take a guess. Guess who you think it is. This is Mara Jade. Can we mouse over? Mara Jade was raised under the tutelage of Emperor Palpatine and trained as one of his special agents, known as the Emperor's Hands. She is deadly in combat. Was a direct connection to the Force via the...
That doesn't mean I'm
Wasn't done reading that. Connection to the Force. Marge, near corruptibility, near infantry. This unit reinforcements. No. So since we don't have a computer on particularly high difficulty, you get to see the top here. We're gonna call this. We're gonna call it done. I don't want to
Captain Solo.
spend the entire time trying to get this. If we had a computer on a higher difficulty, it would spend more time. They'd be able to break the forces of the different lines of forces. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It'd break the different lines and you'd be able to get through this. But I don't feel like doing that.
Will do.
We've secured
So this could go on for a really long time because it's a really big all-out battle, one against the other side, building up forces. It'd be fun. Highly recommend you give this whole thing a shot.
turret constructing.
Tons of different game modes. And again, stay tuned. We're going to be covering Forces of Corruption next, the DLC, which if you thought I was gushing over some of the different stuff in this game, poo boy, you don't even know. There is so much good stuff in this game. I absolutely loved the experience with it. I'm not good at RTS. If you want someone to give a critique on how good the RTS is in this game, you're going to have to look for somebody other than me because I'm just not able to critique that. I thought I was real good, and then I watched people online, and I was like, oh, I'm actually awful. Oh, well, I'm still going to have fun playing them. I just won't play competitively. But that's it for me. Thank you very much for watching. Can we watch Kyle Katarn? There we go. We'll end on Kyle Katarn's beauty face. Beardy pixel punchable face. Oh, there's Han. Thank you very much for Han Solo chasing away the walkers. Thank you for watching. My name's Atratzu. And stay tuned for the next unscripted video, which will be on the DLC version of this game. Thank you very much. Catch you next time.